Hello, everyone. I am sure you're getting sick of going over all these notes. I apologize, okay? But we're getting close. We're getting close to the end. We almost have all of our mammals in. And after all the mammals, guys, then we can start moving forward on some different things, okay? Now, I know some of you guys went over the raccoon on Tuesday. I apologize. But I know one class I did not get through the raccoon. So I'm going to start right there. I'm going to go through it quickly, and then we'll get to the new species, okay? First species, guys, is the raccoon, the trash panda. Let's go. So the raccoon, guys, is about 30 to 37 inches in length with a 9 to 12-inch tail. Now, they weigh somewhere between 50 and 23 pounds, and they have a black, gray, and white body with a black mask on their face. Now, their tail, guys, is pretty distinctive, and it's striped and bushy. Now, they're found pretty much statewide besides this northeast corner. So up in that Grand Marais area where there's not a lot of people, there's not a lot of raccoons there. Now, in the state of Minnesota, they predict that there's somewhere between 800,000 and 1 million raccoons in the entire state. Now, most of these raccoons, guys, do not live outside in the woods per se. A lot of these are actually residential raccoons. And the reason for this, there's less predators and there's a lot more food. Okay. More food, less predators equals just a lot of raccoons and be able to reproduce and be able to have their offspring have a more effective way of living, keeping them around for longer and longer and longer. Okay. Now, on to the new ones. The first one I want to talk about is the striped skunk. First thing you guys should realize, there is stripes on the skunk, hence the name, okay? There's a stripe on its face. There's a black stripe down its back. There's a white stripe here. There's a white stripe over there, okay? This is the striped skunk. Most of you guys have probably seen one of these on the side of the road and then smelt it and then saw it and it was just dead in a ditch, okay? Striped skunks. Now, striped skunks, guys, are about 25 to 30 inches with an 8 to 11-inch tail. They're about 3 to 10 pounds, and they're black with 2 white stripes down its back, okay? Or 1 black stripe down its back, however you want to look at it. Now, they are found statewide, and they can spray set up to 15 feet. I'm sure some of you guys have dogs that have been sprayed by skunks, and you know how bad that smell stays on them and how bad it stinks, okay? Luckily enough, I've never been sprayed by a skunk, and none of my dogs have been. But if you ever have been, let me know. That'd be kind of cool. I'm curious how you guys got it out or how you got it out of your dogs, okay? But skunks, they can spray. They do spray up to 15 feet. That is a defense mechanism, guys. It tells predators to stay away. Because realistically, besides that, they are carnivorous and they can attack. But their main line of defense, guys, is just going to be spray and then run away. Okay, so spray and pray. Okay, sound good? Striped skunk. Now the next one is the eastern spotted skunk, and in my opinion, it's the cuter skunk. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have never heard of this type of skunk. And to be honest with you, until college, I never heard about this either. Okay, but the eastern spotted skunk is a little bit more spotted. It does not just have the straight lines on it. It does have a spot on its forehead. And it's about 18 to 22 inches in length, and that includes the tail. And it's about 0.5 to 4 pounds. So it is substantially smaller than our normal skunk. Now, it is black and white spotted on a variety of stripes and typically has a white tip tail. Now, this is found statewide in open land in sufficient cover. But the difference with this, though, is if you guys see one of these, it needs to be reported. So if you don't feel comfortable reporting it, let me know and I can report it for you. But this is a species, guys, that's starting to become more and more endangered. And I'm not 100% sure why it's becoming more endangered. I'm sure we could do more research and figure that out. But it is becoming more endangered. So it is one of those things, if we do see it, we probably should report it so they know that there's a potential or a possibility that there's a family in that area. So maybe they can do some research on it and we can start figuring more and more about the eastern spotted skunk. Okay. But it is substantially smaller. It is a little bit spotted. Okay. They are cute. Do they still spray? Yep. Okay. They still got the skunk stink. Okay. Moving forward. The next one is the Virginia possum. Okay. Possums, guys, honestly, until I was in high school, I didn't think possums lived here. I thought possums were a southern thing. And then there was a possum in my backyard. Okay. But possums do live in Minnesota. And they actually live in residential areas. But a lot of times, since they're so nocturnal, we don't see them that often because they're pretty skittish and don't want to get attacked either. Okay. But Virginia possums. So possums, guys, are roughly 3 feet from nose to tail, and they can weigh anywhere from 4 to 15 pounds. Now, a 15-pound possum is a pretty hefty possum. Is eating pretty good, but it's possible. Okay. They're grayish white, but they can be a lot darker. Now, they have white face, and they do have a distinctive pink nose. Okay. Nice pink nose there. Now, they live in the lower 2/3 of the state. They have a long rat-like tail, and when threatened, they will play dead and secrete a foul smell. So they play possum. The reason for this is that they believe that animals that are carnivorous aren't going to eat dead animals that smell rotten. So their idea is if they lay dead and don't smell too good, a lot of animals just leave them be. Now, some animals do fall into it. They're like, yeah, I'm not going to touch it. It stinks. It's rotten. But some animals, they don't care, and they're just going to eat it. Okay. Now, one super cool thing about opossums, guys, is that they will eat poisonous snakes. And the reason that they're able to eat these poisonous snakes is they're resistant to them. Okay. Meaning that if they get bit, say, by like a rattlesnake that has poison, they're not probably going to die from it. Okay. They have kind of like an anti-venom actually naturally built into their blood system, which keeps them alive and able to deal with these types of threats or these types of bites, which is a pretty big adaptation piece when you're talking about an animal that's not a huge apex predator per se. Okay. Are they still carnivorous? Do they still attack things? Yes. Will you still find this in your trash can? Heck yeah. Okay. But they are not like your fishers or your pine martens or anything like that. Okay. They're not as aggressive as those types of species. And the last one we get to is an aquatic mammal. Okay. Well, semi-aquatic mammal. And this is the river otter. A lot of you guys really probably think river otters are cute. And like the baby river otters that they always show in like TikTok videos and like Facebook videos and stuff, they're also super cute. And I fully agree with you, okay? River otters are actually one of my favorite mammals that actually live in Minnesota. So a river otter, guys, is 22 to 32 inches in body with a 12 to 20 inch tail. So upwards of 4 foot or 4 feet or longer when it comes to a full-size river otter. Now they weigh somewhere between 11 to 30 pounds. And the sides and the back are dark brown and or black. Now, their underside is a little bit more gray, and they have gray throat, and they also have gray cheeks. They do have webbed hind feet. Now, the reason for this webbed hind feet, guys, is because they do like to swim, and that's where they get a lot of their food. As we know, webbed feet kind of act like flippers, making them swim easier or more efficiently through the water, making it a little bit easier for them to get their food. Now, they are found statewide. So you can find them a lot of places. I know Lake Superior has a pretty big population of river otters. I know at my land in Pine City, I also have river otters. I haven't seen river otters in this area, but I'm sure they're around somewhere. Okay. Now, river otters are kind of like the dogs of the wild, and they are kind of playful. So they'll drop rocks for themselves or for each other just so they can retrieve them, just because they just want to play around. Okay. Which is kind of cool. Now, river otters spend a lot of time in the water for the reason that they don't have a lot of predators there. On land, they have things like bobcats, coyotes, wolves, okay, that can attack them and can kill them. In the water, though, when they're fully grown, not many things are really going to mess with them. Now, as for their babies, things like northern pike and muskies can eat them. Yes, that is possible. It is potentially going to happen. But typically when they get to full size, guys, they kind of run the water. Nothing's really going to mess with them at that point, okay? Now, I do want to mention, guys, they do have webbed hind feet, like we said, but their front feet aren't webbed. The reason for this, guys, they are aquatic and terrestrial. So actually not having those webbed front feet makes it a little bit easier for them to do some certain things on land. It also helps with their dexterity of their fingers when they eat. Okay. Now, that is the last one we're going to get through for today. If you guys have any questions, concerns, issues, please reach out to me. A students, if you have anything, please bring it to Monday. Distance learners, I'd love to hear from you. So if you guys need anything, just let me know. Other than that, guys, have a great week. Talk to you guys soon.